Hey guys, it's Tony Hunter, Indie Smokehouse Barbecue, where it happens. Today, I'm going to do a chuck roast. We call these chuckies. I've got a nice, 2.5 pound chucky. Kind of on the expensive side, $5.97 a pound, but 15 bucks. Decent size. It's got some nice marbling in there. Chuckies are good to do when you don't want to drop 50, 60 bucks on a brisket, but you want some good beef barbecue. So today we're going to smoke a chucky on the Weber Kettle and make us up some delicious snacks for later. Stay tuned. Now this is a really nice chuck roast. I'm really liking, again, the marbling that's in there. It's not too much fat. It's an Angus premium choice, so I'm not too surprised that that it's a fairly nice looking cut of meat. So what I want to do first is I want to go ahead and kind of pat this down with a paper towel just to kind of get some moisture off of it. That's not the binder that I really want for this cut of meat. Look at that. That's really a nice cut. I don't even think I'm going to do much trimming on this. I don't think I'll do any trimming at all. So what I'm going to use for my binder today is teriyaki sauce. Teriyaki goes with beef pretty well, and I'm going to rub it today just very simply with some salt and pepper blend. It's probably about 60-40 mixture, and I'm going to get my teriyaki sauce on here. I want to give it a nice liberal coating of the teriyaki. I'm not going to let this set, but I don't know, probably an hour while the Weber Kettle gets up to temp, and I'm going to give this a nice liberal Texas rub. Don't actually rub it, but basically just pat it in, and you want to cover all the edges. You want to get both sides really good. Pat it in there. Really nice. Don't be afraid. This thing will take a lot of salt. It'll take a lot of pepper. And that's what we're doing. We're doing Texas. We're doing Texas style today. Look at that. This thing is going to have a tremendous bark on it. And again, doing a chuck roast is an alternative to spending 50, 60 bucks on a brisket. Beef prices are through the roof these days, and so when you're trying to have some good food, some good barbecue, but you're trying to be mindful of budget, a chuck roast, or chucky as we call them, is a very good alternative. All right, look at that. That's rubbed pretty good. I want to make sure I get rub in every place I can on this guy. Any cracks, I want to make sure it's nice and covered. So you can see this guy is very nicely rubbed, and I'm only going to do salt and pepper on this. Beef really doesn't need any more than that. All right, so this is a good cut of meat. It's rubbed. The Weber Kettle is getting up to speed. Once it gets heated up, I'm going to put this on, and we'll come back when I'm ready to do that. Okay, guys, so the Weber Kettle is up to speed, up to temp, about 270 degrees or so. I'm going to cook around 250, but after I take the lid off, it's going to let some of that cool off a little bit, and I'll be able to manage the temp with the vents. So as you can see behind me there, the the Galileo shuttle grill is ready to receive some meat. So let's put this stuff on. So as you can see, I've got some other stuff on the grill, but this is the piece de resistance right here, the Chucky. So I'm gonna put him on. I'm not gonna probe him just yet. I'll wait until it gets closer to time, because throughout the cook, I'm gonna spritz this with a mixture of teriyaki sauce and beef broth, and a little water mixed in there too, to keep it moist. And then I'm going to end up wrapping it in butcher paper. So it's on. I'll come back in a little later and give you an update. So everything has been running probably about 40 minutes. I got everything on the cooker right about noon, maybe just a little before, and it's 12:35 right now. The temperature has settled. I'm running a ThermoPro probe in the cooker on the grate level. You'll see that in just a second. I've got the vents on the top of the smoker right about halfway open, and for those of you who are familiar with the Weber Kettle, this thing is about halfway open. The bottom vents are about halfway open, and I'm maintaining temperatures between 240 and 255 degrees. So I want to take a look inside just to kind of show you what else is set up inside the cooker. So as you can see, I'm using lump charcoal, and I've got some hickory and some pecan chunks on there, and I'm running a water pan. I find that the water pan helps me maintain the lower temperatures. Without it, I'm usually probably about 270, 280 degrees right now. And I'm also using a grate that I got from Amazon.com that gives me a second level to the cooker. So you lose, probably about 30% of the cooker on this side when you're doing indirect smoking and cooking. But with this grate, kind of get that back. So that's a really helpful tool for me, and this is what's going on inside the cooker. So I'm going to get my lid back on because things are starting to flare up, and I don't want it to get too hot in there, but I wanted to give you just a little insight into how I'm cooking inside the cooker. Okay guys, it's been like 3 hours since I put the Chucky on. We're going to go out now and take a look and see if I need to spritz or anything like that. Let's go see. Okay, that's looking pretty doggone good. I don't know if you can see it in the sunlight. I think I will spritz this a little bit though. And what I'm spritzing with is a mixture of 2 parts beef broth, 1 part teriyaki sauce, and probably another part water. So I think that's gonna have a nice little flavor profile. All right, it's looking pretty good. I haven't probed for temperature yet. It's still very tight, so I'm not even gonna poke it yet. So we'll come back. It's been 3 hours. We'll come back in another hour or so, see what's going on with it. So it's been 4.5 hours, and this guy is looking really good. It's only 170 degrees, but look at the bark on this guy. Very nice bark. Let me get this wrapped up, get it back on the grill, and we'll be back in a little bit. Okay guys, so it has been a total of 7 hours. This Chucky has cooked at an average of 255, 260 degrees. 7 hours, and this thing is probing like butter. But as you can see, this thing is just probing really easily. So what I'm gonna do is get this wrapped up. I'm going to wrap it in the foil while it's in this paper. Let it retain a little bit more heat. Let it break down a little bit more, but just let it set and rest. And it's going to become pulled beef. So we'll get it pulled apart and take a taste sample and see what it's like. Be back in a little bit. The bark, look at the bark on this thing. Oh my God, look, it's falling apart. Wow, look at that. I could actually just press this apart. My goodness. So this thing is going to pull very nicely. Look how it's coming up to pieces here. Oh, still pretty hot too. Looking delicious. Look at the bark. Look at the bark on this. Oh my gosh. Look at that. It's very juicy. Very juicy. Oh my gosh, it's looking really good. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this nice barky piece right here and I'm going to give that a taste test. Okay, here we go. This, my friends, is the moment of truth. So now I'm going to take a test and see what's happening. Oh my God. I need to do that again. Take a little of this meat on the inside. Look how tender, and it's just coming apart. No, I've kept the seasoning very simple. Just salt and pepper, and that was it. Salt and pepper, charcoal, fire, and smoke. That's all a good piece of beef needs. This is absolutely delicious. You should try it. You know, you don't want to spend 50, 60 bucks on a brisket. Go pick you up a nice Angus chucky with some nice marbling in there, and put him on your grill, put him on your smoker. Make you some delicious barbecue beef. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell button so that you can be notified of any new videos that I produce. I try to do at least one a week. I'll try to keep that pace up, but you know how it is when you've got full-time jobs and all that kind of stuff. And come back and check me out from time to time. Indie Smokehouse Barbecue. I'm Tony Hunter. Pit happened.